I told you guys Batman 149 was going to be iconic, and it really was iconic. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about comics, manhwa, movies, and stuff. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you are notified when I drop. Now, let's get into it. We continue our story in a dark alley. Someone was about to die. This is Gotham City after all. It is expected. But before he could pull the trigger and end this man's life, he was stopped by a Robin hidden in the shadows. The Robin disarmed him and gave him a direct punch to the face, shattering his nose. And he was not done. God knows he wanted to do more. But before he could, someone was behind him. Batman was behind him. Seeing Batman, he was filled with rage. You killed him. You killed my father. But Batman didn't come here to fight, no. He just held him and said, "It's okay. I'm here. I won't leave you. I'm here." Taking him back to his apartment, Bruce discovered a dark secret. Not only was this guy a clone, but he had all of Bruce's memory till date. All of Failsafe's memory till date. But worst of all, he was aging. And he was aging fast, literally. And Bruce could not stop it. Bruce tried to reassure him that he would fix this, but he knew, because both of them were Bruce, that Failsafe didn't care about him. He was disposable from the start, and he was going to die. And Bruce tried to interject, but before he could finish, Damien called him to have a conversation upstairs. He was wondering why his father was wasting his time with the forbidden clone. The clone that was literally bred to kill Damien and his other boys, when he should be wondering where the body of Failsafe was, the body that single-handedly took down the Justice League. Bruce made it clear that he has to help this child because Damien was literally like this child. He could not just let him die. So looking through his memories, he realized that Zorin R had another Batcave, and this Batcave was cool as hell. He brought Tim along because he honestly didn't trust himself. But Tim assured him that that chapter of his life is closed. He has to learn to trust people. Bruce got the supplies, and for once he listened to Tim. When he went back to the lab though, he got no results. His equipment sucked. His clone also noticed that Bruce now had a robotic arm. And Bruce explained that, he got this because of one of his adventures. For those of you who don't know, yes, Bruce has a robotic arm. He lost it in a battle in an alternate universe against Ghost Maker himself. If you want me to make a video on that, please just drop it in the comments. Anyway, Bruce was disappointed because he was failing. He couldn't save this boy. He couldn't save himself. Bruce wished that he had more equipment, better equipment. He wished he had a way to help this guy. But then he realized he could. Zorinar was in his mind for a long time. He had secrets. And one of those secrets was that when he worked at Wayne Industries, he was so proficient at being a separate individual. He had separate bank accounts. And so, looking through his memories, he found where Zorinar kept all his money. And Jesus Christ, as soon as Bruce saw all that bread, he was shocked. He was a billionaire before the whole Joker war, but now he was a billionaire again. But when he got home, something was different. All his boys were here. Why were they here? What happened? Rushing inside, he realized that something took place while he was out. The clone had cut off his hand as a replacement for Bruce's robotic hand. Bruce looked at him and said, "Why? I have the money now." But he knows Bruce. He knows no matter what, this cannot be solved so fast. And Bruce needed an arm. Batman needed an arm. I like the cybernetic arm. I don't know why he wants to change it, but oh well. The time had finally come. His aging was aging way too fast, and all the boys came to be with Bruce. Because it's one thing dying. Watching yourself age up and die, that's a different story. Mr. Terrific, one of the smartest men in the whole DC universe, was here to help. But even he couldn't do anything to stop this. So Bruce made sure he spent his final moments with his clone. But his clone had one final request. He didn't want to die here. He didn't want to die underground. And so Bruce complied, taking him back to their home, their original home, where they buried their three greatest parents. R.I.P. Alfred Pennyworth, Thomas Wayne, and Martha Wayne. His final moments on Earth were peaceful, And he had one final conversation with his clone in the front of their old house. Because this was just a house. A home is the people. He made sure Bruce understood this before passing away. And Bruce said thank you to himself. This was a sad moment, but this showed that Bruce has grown. Later that night, though, someone turned on the bat signal. The police department didn't have the right to anymore, especially because Vandal Savage was the current commissioner of police. So he went to answer the call, only to meet Vandal Savage there, offering him a deal, telling him to come when he's called and he will allow his Bat family do whatever they want. But Bruce didn't come here to make deals. Instantly taking out the Bat signal, Vandal shouted, "Are you a fool? I could destroy you," but Bruce just clocked him in his jaw, knocking his ass to the ground. Looking at Vandal Savage pathetic, he said to him, "I will destroy you, Vandal, and you could keep the damn house." The next day, Bruce called a family meeting. All his kids were brought to a decrepit old house, a house that Bruce himself was trying to fix up. They came in inspecting the grounds. It was horrible. It was terrible. And Bruce just introduced everybody to their new house. He bought this whole section, not just the house, the blocks as well. He was going to name this house the Pennyworth Mansion and turn everywhere to a place where poor people can afford to live. He was changing up, not building a new Batcave, not buying new armor, not building anything, but to build his community. And he wanted his family to come live with him. Looking at Barbara and Dick, he knew they had homes in Bloodhaven, but he reminded them that, yeah, this is your home too, whenever you will need it. Everyone explored the house, and Dick was surprised because, yeah, you have your money back. That's good. And Bruce smiled, looking forward to growing old with his family, with his sons. This was a good moment in the Bruce storyline. Later that night, he was still working. He was still trying to clean this place up. But first, he had to bury himself. He buried himself here in this new land, and someone came to visit. Selena Kyle, the ex-love of his life, was here, and they shared the moment together in this new compound. Taking a moment to catch up on each other's lives, she looked at Bruce and smiled, asking him, "Are you okay?" And for once, he let down his walls, telling her, "I'm not. I'm really not." And she promised that she was here to guide him through it, asking him to show her around this new house. This was the end of the comic, and it was a good one.